Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the camera slash talk around device that I have from Sena, which is the 10C Evo. And I'm going to start off by saying to all of you out there that, this isn't necessarily everybody's opinion on this camera slash communication device, but this is going to be my opinion on this. And it's not necessarily the only opinion or the rightest opinion. But I would say it's not the wrongest either. I think some of the stuff I'm going to bring back up on this video are very relevant to the use of this camera. And one of the things I'm going to say as pretty much the most glaring negative of this is going to be the battery life. If you are looking for a camera that lasts the entire 2-hour ride, if you're taking a 2-hour ride, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Because in 4K, this is going to last you maybe, and I'm saying maybe, 20 minutes at best. Now, I've seen some videos and people are saying, 35, 45 minutes. I really don't know how that's possible. I've had this thing fully charged, and I have literally only gotten 20 minutes of video footage out of it. And, to me, that's the biggest disappointment of this entire system, is because you have a decent product. The problem is that... the problem is its battery just doesn't last. And that's kind of the bummer, and definitely the negative. Now, are there any other negatives at this point? Not really, at least not related to the device. Are there negatives related to the software of the device? Absolutely. But anyway, one of the things I'm going to say is aside from the battery, the other significant negative of this is going to be the software that surrounds the use of this camera. And what I mean is the Sena app on this, which isn't really the device's fault. It's definitely Sena's fault. But the software is awful. It's terrible. I can't communicate with my phone probably 85% of the time. It makes it very difficult to transfer files if I want to. So I have to actually go and do it manually, which kind of sucks. So those are the two major negatives. Now, if we're going to talk about positives, well, I think you're seeing the positive. The video footage that you're getting right now and the audio is right from this device. I don't have any other microphone at this time. I do have another camera hooked up to my helmet. But, so far, I would have to say that the quality of footage has been really good on this camera, and the audio is pretty decent. I don't have the world's quietest helmet, that's for sure, but at the same time, it comes off pretty good, and it's definitely audible. I know I sound a little strange sometimes when I'm talking, but, my helmet is still breaking in, so, the cheeks are a little squished together. I feel like a little bit of a squirrel. But at the same time, the video footage is, in my opinion, above average. I would say that it is equitable to my GoPro Hero that I've been using, or my Hero Max that I have, and now I'm using the what is that? I forget the name of the company. Shit. I guess I'm not getting anything from them, but the Action 4, the Osmo Action 4 from whatever that company is. I can't remember right now, but whatever. And I have to say that the footage seems to be pretty good. I don't have any issues with the way it looks. The audio could be better, obviously. So I've repositioned the microphone a little bit to see if that helps. So I'm hoping it does. I won't know until I actually upload the footage. But I think overall, one of the things I'm going to say is if we're looking at all the positives on this device, it is definitely going to be the camera. I think it is a positive, although the time frame on the battery is god-awful. And the audio quality is pretty good. Now, that's if you're recording, right? Well, how does it work as an actual device to take phone calls, listen to music, so on and so forth? And I have to say, again, it's above average. The audio is really decent, in my opinion. Again, is it going to be like surround sound movie quality? Definitely not, but I think it is substantial enough for you to be able to hear the music and kind of be comfortable where it's not too loud, not too soft. And also the fact that when you take phone calls, the device... Oh, what do we got in the middle of the road here? Oh, no. Come on, buddy. Come on. Out the road. Come on. Go. Go ahead. Go. There you go. Go in the woods. Go. Well, we just saved whatever the hell that was. A little rodent. Oh no. Sucker. I did my best. Alright, so anyway, getting back to what I say are the inherent great features of this. The video footage is excellente, for sure. Oh, why don't you crawl up my ass? Go home. So anyway, as I was saying before we got interrupted by that little critter on the road, hopefully it doesn't get hit. But the video footage on this camera is pretty good. I mean, I'm getting a little buffeting from the damn windshield. I have to get a couple of washers to space it out a little bit more. But you know, I do think that the quality overall has been pretty good. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to come out in regards to right now, because I did put the new windshield on. However, with that said, I do think it does offer some added features that are exciting and I think beneficial. I do think if you want to record some video and, you know, you're looking into maybe documenting some of the things you're doing, but not necessarily recording for 2 hours straight, this could be technically a camera for you. The audio device, I think, is very good. So I think you're going to get a pretty quality, good sounding, pretty good sounding quality speakerphone headset / whatever else you want to call this thing. And, you know, I do think it is pretty good. I think it is a valuable asset to have on the road for sure. But I also think if you're going to do something like this, you have to realize that, you're going to have to spend a little bread. Anyway, let's talk more about the camera now that we had that small, you know, intermission with the animal. But honestly, I do think if you're going to look for a device, this could be a good choice for a lot of people, especially those who aren't necessarily sure if they want to do a lot of motovlogging or if they just want a device in order to communicate with the world, or with maybe a buddy or two that they might be riding with, which is kind of one of the added bonuses to this camera / you know, communication device. You know, you can mesh it along with a couple of other devices, which are nice, and it's a pretty easy procedure. You just hold down the paddle and then it asks you or another person to connect, which is pretty cool. So that's one thing that I like about it. The other thing I like is the quality of the sound is very good. You know, I was riding the bike and going about 65 miles per hour, and my wife called me, picked up the phone, and next thing you know it, the sound quality came up great, sounded wonderful, and I had no issues. So it was really good. When I was listening to my phone the other day in regards to the music, again, it was loud enough, it was clear enough, even with the road noise and everything else. So I do think it does do what it's intended to do, and it does it very well. Now, obviously, it's going to be up to you to decide if that's something you want to buy. Do you want to spend the extra money? Because these things are kind of expensive. I believe they're having a sale on them still, but I did get this on the 4th of July, so it was a very good sale that I picked this up on, and I didn't hesitate because I knew it was going to be worth it. So, you know, I think overall the features are pretty good. The fact that you can communicate on it and play music is really good. The fact that if you want, you can record some video, which hopefully this is recording right now, hopefully, and hopefully we'll get a good video, I think is important. If you want to look at the downsides, the downside again is the horrible battery life when you're recording video, which could be resolved with a portable battery or a USB charger, which you can see there. And I'm hoping that'll alleviate the battery concerns that I have on this, which will make it a good, very long ability camera to, or usability for this camera to be used. Now, does that mean it's the best thing in the world? No. You know, I still have a dedicated DJI Action 4, which I just remembered the name. And I had a GoPro Hero Max before the DJI. I got that in order to hook up the microphone directly to it, which I'm still waiting for, so I'll get that soon. And that way I can use that as my main camera, my main source, and then even if I wanted to, use this film or this video footage as kind of as B-roll. And that would be the goal, at least for me. You know, you might differ in that, you know, determination for yourselves, but, you know, that's ultimately going to be your decision, not mine. But I think overall, if you're looking for a good setup, you know, the hookup to the helmet is very easy. You can either do it with 3M tape or with a clip, which honestly I prefer the clip. I just think the clip makes a little bit more sense. It's a little more structurally sound and gives you a little bit more added, I guess you could say, peace of mind, so it doesn't fly off as you're driving. But, you know, you have to decide what works best for you. And overall, I do give it a passing grade. I would say, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely perfect, I would give this a solid, you know, 7.5, maybe even an 8. For the ability to film, the ability to hear very clearly, and so on and so forth. But again, you'd have to decide if this is for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, like I would say, I'm not going into many of the functions at this point. You guys can see that on other videos. This was more of a real world use, showing you how it works and kind of talking about the one massive negative, but maybe a potential workaround from that if you have the portable battery or a USB charger, which, you know, either one will work, which is great. So, again, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments down below. Subscribe if you like. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye for now.